Hello, I'm Guy, and this is Guy Robot. Hello, this is going to be my first unboxing and review video that I've ever tried to do. Since I started doing these videos a few weeks ago, and moving into this office downstairs, I've realised what a difference lighting can make. Upstairs, it was too sunny all the time, but recording videos during the day gave me reasonable lighting. Down here, it's dark. The only window I've got is behind me, and I have to cover that up when filming, otherwise my face glows like the sun. That means the only lights I've got are some halogen bulbs in the ceiling, and they're also rubbish for filming. So, I decided I needed to look at getting some lighting equipment. I had a look at Amazon, and at one point I had over £1,000 of lighting in my basket, before deciding that probably wasn't the sensible thing to go for. In the end, I had a look at some of the cheaper options, and amongst some Best Light, Neewer lights, I decided that I was probably going to have to go for the cheap territory. I did consider going for some mid-range Amaran lights, which would have worked out about £350 for a set. But since this is early days on this channel, I decided to be sensible and just do the minimum I could to get a basic studio set up here in my basement. So I ended up going with the second cheapest lighting set that there was on Amazon, which is some Neewer lights. I'm not using them at the moment. This is still just the awful lights I've got in my basement. However, they have arrived. In this rather unprofessional looking package that's merely covered in plastic with a bunch of odd shaped boxes, promises to be 2 LED lights, 2 professional stands to put them on, and a bag to hold everything in. Now, I'm not sure how professional the light's going to be, but with it on Amazon was a recommended purchase of a charger that you can buy. I didn't have any Sony batteries in the first place, so I bought the recommended charger. It's not the highest quality in the world, the batteries don't even stay in it. If this is the quality charger that people who are buying these lights, I'm not sure where my hopes are. Nonetheless, I have charged my batteries, or, according to the box, when indicator light turned green from red, batteries are in fulling. Well, the good news is that it's gone back to red, which means my batteries are full. So, I have full batteries. I've got a big plastic bag. Shall we do an unboxing? So, here it is, the future of my underground bunker. These promise to be some new LED lights for improving filming. I've never felt so disappointed at an unboxing. The fact it's just covered with sticky tape in a bag, labelled Neewer, that promises the product you love with service you deserve, makes me think it's probably not going to be a product I love. Still, let's see. Oh, there's another bag in here. Well, we have a bag in a bag, so it's a bit like Inception, apart from nothing like Inception. Then, we have things. So, your guess is as good as mine as to what's in here at this point. It comes with, as I've said before, 2 professional quality stands, a carry case, and 2 of the LEDs. My first thought are how small these LEDs are. To try and give some perspective for size, it's only 2 battery packs high, which is pretty small. My hand covers the box, but it still should be bright enough in here when I consider how much light you can get out of LEDs. Opening it up, it comes with a Chinese covered instruction manual with a picture of the light, some warnings, a few other instructions. I'm probably not going to read those. And the light itself. Now, the last time I did any professional lighting was when I was at school, and I was about 11 or 12 years old, and I used to be in control of the proper lighting desk and lights that we had. And they certainly felt more substantial than this. It does come with barn doors. Oh, that's bad. I don't know if you can hear the creak. If you can't, there's a lovely cheap plastic creak about it. And it actually just feels like cheapy tinfoil on the inside. But I have to remind myself that I have 2 lights and 2 metre high stands, plus a carry bag, all for under £100. So that is something to be said. So it's got the 4 barn doors so I can help direct the light. It's got a massive grid of LEDs. On the back of it there's a test button and a control for the brightness of the light, a DC power input if you don't want to be carrying batteries around, what feels like a battery release button, and a holder clippy thing to go onto these stands. So before we get it onto a stand, let's get one of my batteries that is absolutely full according to the description. I'm going to assume they just go on. Oh, no, not like that. I'm going to assume they go on the other way to the way I tried. They look like they should go on that way. You have to press the release button to put the battery in as well. Important to note. So, there's a test button which does nothing. Let's try turning it on. The test button, the test button tells me how much battery power I've got left. Kind of useful, apart from it would be more useful when filming. However, I have a suspicion these things are quite bright. I don't know what that's just done to my camera, but if I put this down on the lowest level of brightness, I can stare that in the eyes and it's okay. If I start turning it up, now the whole of my basement is lit up by this. If I shine that in my face, there's no way I'm going to be filming, because right now all I can see is a grid of LEDs in front of me. It looks a bit like floating tennis balls from the yellow LEDs, but I can't see a thing. So the one thing I do know about these, for the size of my basement, they're probably bright enough. The other light is exactly the same as the first one. They're 2 identical lights. So I get my 2 front-facing lights to fill the scene and film me set up correctly. And then all I need to worry about is lighting behind me at a later date. Much more of the same. It still has a nasty creak, but at least we know what we're doing to put the battery in now. So this should be a little bit quicker. Bang, turn it on. Whoa, it works as before. The other thing that comes with this are filters. Yep, you certainly get what you paid for with this, and quite a bit more if I'm being honest. We've got, let's see how we put these in. Oh, there is a little slot at the side where you can slide in your filters. There is one that does a kind of pink coloured light versus unfiltered. We've got just a white light for kind of the cool light, but diffused. And we've got a more warm light, if you want that kind of yellow warm lighting effect. Now the pinky one doesn't actually give it that much colour. I thought it'd be a bit more pink than it is, but I suspect what I'm going to go for is just diffusing the white light, because that will go with the new white LED bulbs that I've got for the ceilings. They should all be, considering the budget here, roughly the same colour temperature. And we can do the same with the filters on the first light. Very exciting. And then we will have, moment of truth. Oh, apparently you can't put the filters in when the barn doors are shut. That doesn't work. You have to put them in before. And our lights are good to go. But what about the professional quality stands? Now, I don't have the best camera tripod or microphone stand at the moment. To be honest, flimsy is an understatement. I've got a better microphone stand coming. Camera, I'm still undecided what I'm doing with it. But I'm hoping these are going to be durable enough for my lights for the foreseeable future. What I'd really like is for these lights to last me at least 6 months. If in 6 months' time I've actually got some subscribers and viewers, I'm willing to spend a little bit more. Maybe a late Christmas present, early birthday present for me. But until then, hoping this will last. So I'm hoping these tripods are good enough. Bear in mind, I will take my stuff down and put it back up, so it's not just filling this place when I'm not filming. So let's hope they're up to the test. I will give them one thing, there's a lot of glue on this box. This is where I wish I bought some scissors downstairs. Half mine broke then trying to install a network cable last week. I was actually cutting the carpet, did it? Best not to ask. the immediate feeling is actually, this is higher quality than any of the other tripods or equipment that I've got so far. It's not going to be stage quality, but it certainly feels more like a tripod. Pleasantly surprised is an understatement. All I need to do now is screw this on, and away I'll go. So, how does one screw this on? I'm assuming like this. So, hoping this is the shot. If not, we're just going to see the bottom of it. Oh. Tighten that back up. Spin it round, tighten that down. And now, we've got some light. Those stands actually feel pretty good, considering the whole of this kit with the batteries, and the batteries in charge of was £20. The whole lot came to under £100 delivered. Compared to the thousands you can pay, I've got to give them credit. It's better than I thought. These are certainly cheap and flimsy compared to high-end equipment, and I'm not sure I'm going to take these out and about filming, but they seem okay quality from unboxing. The stand's remarkably good for the price that I paid for them. I would have expected them to have been the same incredibly hollow aluminium feel that I've got from other things that bend really easily, whereas these actually feel reasonably chunky, and I'm fairly confident they're going to be able to stay up down here during filming because way and come back out. But putting them away is the next question. Shall I put them in my professional camera bag? That's right, my Neewer camera bag. I'm not sure there's a lot to say, but let's have a look. It comes with zips. It has a double zip section with the whole thing opening out. This end velcros off, that makes a lot more sense than what I thought. And then I just have a really big bag that I can fit all this in. It's got room that I would actually have to fit my batteries in. There's a pouch on the side. I can fit my microphone and mic stand in here. And that was free, chucked in with it. So, what can I say? Well, I haven't tested them yet. I don't know what they're going to be like in day-to-day use. I don't know what the flicker's going to be like on them. But from unboxing, I am pleasantly surprised. I had very low expectations for these. In reality, what is this? 150 LEDs? Something like that? 160 LEDs with 10 watt output and 1150 lumen. That's quite a lot of LEDs by themselves. To get all of those in a light, assembled for me, being able to control it, stands and a bag for under £100, yeah, they're going to be better than what I've got now. So the next test, I guess, is shall we set up some lighting and see how well it works? Now I'm sat down here again. This time I have both of the Neewer lights up. I'm not sure how this is actually going to look yet. I've not looked at the footage. So this is my first test to see how it will look. At the moment I have one light straight in front of me and I have the other light to the side. Both of them are on maximum intensity, and I'll be honest, I'm starting to not be able to see a thing. I've also turned off the other lighting that was above me, so at the moment the only real lighting I have whatsoever is the LEDs that are behind me. Now I'm going to try and turn the lights down just a little bit so I see if I can actually see. I'm now actually sat with both of them on again. This time they're about half brightness, but the one on the left slightly brighter. I am definitely having problems with these being so bright that I can't see properly. Ironically, I was considering going for brighter lights with more bulbs in each of the lights. That definitely wasn't needed. For shooting me by myself, I suspect these are more than bright enough. Maybe if I wanted to fill a massive scene, I'd need more. However, I'm hoping it's going to be okay. The next test I'm going to do is just with room level lighting. Hopefully then, I won't have the same problems as before, but I also won't need to blind myself with this level of brightness. And on my final test, I've adjusted both these down to a nice, easy to live with brightness. So, time to go and pop these on the computer and see how they all compare. Were they worth the money? Yes, in short. For Very little money, I think the quality of my videos will improve substantially by these. If you just look at the intro to this video compared to now talking on the outro, considering I've not had that long to learn how to play with lighting, I think you'd agree there's a substantial difference in it. I'm not using any room lighting. When I went through the different samples of my initial tests, I realised that as soon as I put room lighting on, regardless of where it was, I started getting reflections making my head look really weird, which means I have to start applying all kinds of filters in Premiere Pro afterwards just to make me look normal, and that takes twice as long for me to render out the video. All I have is two lights at the moment, one in front of me, one to the side. They're both on full brightness, but I've put them so they're not in eye shot, so I'm no longer being blinded. And I think the crisp white light makes the videos a lot better than they were. I quite like the nice blue hue that's now behind me. Would I recommend these to anyone else? Well, it depends on what you're going to use them for. If you want to go around shooting outside, taking your lights with you, probably not. The reality is that the construction of these is cheap. These are not heavy aluminium. They don't weigh huge amounts. Could you use them and take them on location? Yes. Would you want to do it regularly? No. More than likely at some point you're going to drop something. I suspect, although I'm not going to test, that these wouldn't fare terribly well in a drop test. If, however, you want to fix lighting in place and not move it around regularly, or all you're doing is recording for a home studio, then I actually think these are brilliant. Don't get me wrong, if I had £1,000 to spend, would I spend it on these lights or would I spend it on better lights? I'd spend it on better lights. I don't know why, but I suspect they would be decidedly better, and I suspect they would also be higher quality. It's been a long time since I've used any form of professional lighting, but my memories are certainly better than these. That being said, if you're recording YouTube videos, you're doing small projects at home, you even want to do a bit of photography, but it's in your own studio somewhere and you're not going to be regularly changing things, are these good enough? Yes. You know, if you are making hundreds, thousands of pounds, that's what you're doing, or you're setting up a business that intends to make that money quite quickly, yeah, spend the money on professional equipment. If, however, you're trying to do something on a budget, which if you're looking for £100 lights, you probably are, these are good. At the moment, I've had no problems with these. After sustained use, I may find there's problems with flicker. I'm curious to see what they're like once I get LEDs put in all my ceiling lights as well. And I'm curious to see how they work on long-term use. But after short usage and a couple of video edits, I'm really happy where these are. These are now going to be part of my regular kit. I don't have the most amazing studio setup in the world. You can see from the video the limitations of what I've got from my setup when I was doing the unboxing, and there's no point pretending otherwise. But that's the case with many of us that do videos on YouTube. So if you're thinking about setting up and doing your own videos, but you don't want to spend thousands of pounds, these are for you. All I've had to do, £10 pair of curtains, £100 for a lighting kit, and bang, my video quality has improved substantially. So, thumbs up. I recommend these. Well worth the money. If you've got more, spend it. If you want a very good, for the price, good value for money lighting kit, these are definitely worth it. Thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, then please leave some comments below. If you thought this was the worst unboxing you've ever seen, hit dislike. At least I'll know what you thought about it. I'd love to know what you think. I plan on doing some more unboxings coming up with the rest of the stuff I've got for this new office. So let me know how you enjoyed this one. Thanks. Thanks for watching. Please check out some of my other videos and don't forget to subscribe.